If you've been on the internet in the past year, you've most likely heard of the term cancel culture. This term is oftentimes associated with YouTubers like James Charles, who was canceled due to enforcing his sexuality onto clearly straight men and grooming a young teenage boy. This led to James having to face the backlash of his actions, and all of which he is still facing till this day. However, let's switch the subject. Turkey Tom, YouTuber with 300,000 subscribers, pretty funny guy, and oh yeah, disliked for his spread of misinformation on YouTuber Pyrocynical. We will go over this and more throughout the video, and towards the end I will explain why I, just quoted, still support Turkey Tom. But in order to understand why Tom is so disliked, let's go over the Pyrocynical allegations. October 29th, 2020, the so-called victim of this story tweets out, "Pyrocynical groomed me and I have screenshots to prove it. I've been sitting thinking about this stuff nonstop, being angry, confused, and sad that I've had to accept this since I was 15. I've never said anything because I felt powerless." What he sent ranged from drawn NSFW to fetishy YouTube videos, and he'd asked me to compile stuff for him using tags that he liked on certain websites. At 15, I obviously did it because he's freaking Pyrocynical. I was just happy to be talking to him and I was trying to continue that. Let me stop this right here. You obviously continued the conversation because he's Pyrocynical. At 15, you are old enough to tell someone when something's making you uncomfortable. So the fact that you said nothing at all is a huge oversight on your end. It's not like you mentioned that you made an effort to let him know that this was making you uncomfortable, because, well, you didn't. I had Discord screenshots dating back 4 years, proving all of this, and I don't know if I should post them here, but I may either way. I'm done sitting here being quiet about it when I know mad people went through the same stuff, but are extremely traumatized and scared of talking about it. Now, the screenshots he's talking about have been deleted along with their Twitter account, because after this situation was concluded, I redeleted his Twitter along with most of the evidence. But we got archives, and after reading these screenshots, I can safely say this stuff is weird and Pyro should have never been indulging in this. However, this does not count as grooming. Pyro never asked for nude photos or tried taking advantage of Ivory. He simply engaged in furry roleplay with Ivory. And no, this is not the same as grooming. They're both playing characters. And seeing as in Tommy C's interview, Ivory wasn't able to answer the question, how did Pyro groom you? I think it's pretty safe to say that Pyro never groomed Ivory.
Here's what I'm not understanding. And how were you groomed? Because you don't need to be.
In the midst of all the drama, there was one person not buying any of what Pyrocynical was saying in his response video. This person being Turkey Tom, who was the main person throughout the whole incident, backing up all of Ivory's claims, even going as far as writing a document exposing Pyrocynical of his actions. But similar to Ivory's evidence, the document has since then been deleted with no archives that I can find at the moment. In this document, a lot of readers were quick to notice that Tom jumped to a lot of conclusions, and with him being a self-proclaimed detective, this is really bad. Keep in mind that around this time, a lot of YouTubers who had made their videos calling Pyro guilty were starting to openly apologize after watching Pyro's response video. So the fact that Tom was still trying to accuse Pyro of something that's already been disproven was already on its own shocking. And at the end, this really painted Tom as a clown in this situation. And this right here is the reason he's so disliked till this day. And as much as I like to, I just simply can't defend Tom in this instance. Looking back on all this, it's hard not to compare the situation to the Zaptai, Slazzle, or James Charles incidents, all of which contain someone being wrongfully accused of being a child predator, rapist, or any other bad actions to take part in. Better yet, all of them started with someone coming out on Twitter claiming to have been assaulted by the person in question. For Slazzle, it was Che, an ex-girlfriend of his from 2017 and someone well known in the commentary community. For Zaptai, it was multiple people from his past that he had manipulated. All of these situations got blown out of proportion by one YouTuber by the name I'm Alex, leading to the death of Zaptai's career and Slazzle's career being put on the brink of death, being saved by the community correcting their wrongs. While yes, I do believe Tom should face the consequences of his actions, I don't believe he should be cancelled for this, cause if I'm Alex got away with it scot-free, why should Tom be cancelled? And Alex has been guilty of doing this twice, meanwhile this is Tom's first time. I think this is a valid place to end this video off at, because while I've done what I set out to do, defend Tom and give my reasons as to why he shouldn't be canceled, and get off scot-free with no backlash since no one will see this video. Nah, but in all seriousness, I've been Just Quilted, and until next week, later.